The win at Old Trafford left the scoreboard reading 1-0 in Arsenal's favour, but the evening's true drama played out in quieter tones. Victor Gyökeres, the headline-grabbing £55 million recruit who arrived after an almost mythical run of 97 goals in 102 Portuguese matches, found himself strangely muted on one of the game's largest stages. Expectations had been sky-high. A man who had torn through defences in another league was supposed to give Arsenal the ruthless finishing touch they have been missing. Instead, for his 60 minutes on the pitch, Gyökeres barely saw the ball, registering just 21 touches and only 3 inside the penalty area, numbers that looked more like a cameo than the debut of a marquee signing. It wasn't just the count that alarmed observers, it was the look of the game. The striker's usual predatory instincts, the sharp touches and constant movement that led to almost a goal per game in Portugal, appeared stifled, as if the supply line to him had been clogged before it left the midfield. Arsenal fans had expected a thunderclap. They received a whisper. A whisper. Yet this whisper came wrapped inside a victory, and victory matters. Mikel Arteta, who has overseen Arsenal's rise and carries the twin burdens of tactical innovation and public scrutiny, did not indulge in the panic that so often infects social feeds after a single underwhelming display. He praised the substitutes and the overall impact of the newer faces, insisting that some players are still not at the highest level that they need to get to, but we will get there. That measured defence is significant. It suggests confidence in a plan rather than a knee-jerk reaction to one-game stats. But confidence and facts live in different rooms. The facts, the touches, the time, the lack of meaningful service invite questions that Arteta's optimism cannot silence by itself. Was Gyökeres denied his chances by honest poor connection between midfield and forward lines? Or did the boyhood instincts that produced those 97 goals need time to translate into a new team's patterns and pressing triggers? Look closer and another layer appears. The match's tempo at Old Trafford did not always allow the kind of clean through balls and low crosses that a striker of Gyökeres' profile thrives on. When Arsenal did push forward, the ball often bounced off bodies or was claimed by a crowded defensive box, leaving the striker with scraps rather than service. That raised the eyebrow stat. Just 3 touches inside the box is less an indictment of his finishing and more an indictment of the supply chain on that night. Football is a network game. A striker's headline numbers rely on dozens of small decisions from teammates, an angled run, a timed press, a deceitful flick, and those micro actions were, for whatever reason, missing or neutralized. At the same time, the psychological pressure on a player arriving with a price tag and a goal record like his can make any early moment feel magnified. Every touch becomes a spotlight. Every non-touch feels like a failure. For fans who already traded optimism for expectation, the raw stats provided easy ammunition for criticism. Still, there is reason to pause before declaring a verdict. Arteta's public defence and the fact that other new signings like Martin Zubimendi were singled out for positive impact indicate a broader picture where integration is a process rather than an instant. Managers often speak in timelines, weeks, matches, training cycles, and whether that is realism or a convenient buffer, it is how clubs often navigate early turbulence. Arsenal's title challenge demands ruthlessness, but it also demands patience when a key piece is newly placed into a complex machine. The real question is whether patience will be rewarded. Will Gyökeres adapt his movement to the rhythm Arteta demands? Will the team learn to feed him in the spaces he needs? Or will the initial signs harden into a pattern that forces tactical recalibration or media scrutiny? For now, the narrative sits on a knife edge, a win that masks a potentially worrying disconnect. Arsenal can point to 3 precious points and the steady voice of their manager. Critics will point to the mismatch between transfer fee and immediate return. Gyökeres leaves Old Trafford with his record intact, but his debut circled in doubt, and football's appetite for drama means that the next few performances will be treated as referendum. Will he respond with goals and silence the doubters, rediscovering the predatory instincts that once produced near-mythical numbers? Or will the patterns that kept him anonymous at one of the sport's great arenas demand answers from a club that has just invested heavily in his promise? The season is young, the stakes are high, and a single quiet night has already spun 1,000 questions that only time and the next match can answer.